coffee or tea or water. You don't have to pay for these drinks, but if you buy other things like fruit juices and so on, you can pay in US or even Asiatic side of the city. As you might all know, we are a unique city, the only city in the world which is based upon continents in Istanbul, the southern end of the channel, which will be approximately to the 5 o'clock direction, is the Marmara Sea. That is the direction you sailed into the port of Istanbul yesterday, and that's the direction you will leave the port of Istanbul. We will be cruising approximately 2/3 of the channel, then we will get off the boats, and we will have our buses waiting around. These are considered nice living quarters, basically due to the view. So majority of the deluxe hotels of Istanbul are covering the hilltops to your left, like Intercontinental, Ritz-Carlton, Hilton, Hyatt, just a few Bahçe, which we will start viewing to our left from now on. The mosque with 2 minarets, followed by a white marble interior decoration. The palace is a museum today. They do have tours inside. Nobody lives in the palace, and about 20-25 years ago they redesigned it as a museum. The palace is made of 3 different sections. The first low group of buildings we're cruising along, right by the Turkish flag. That is the official quarters, the administrational area. The taller part, 2-story building in the middle, is the banquet hall. It has the biggest crystal chandelier of the whole world. It is waterford, Irish crystal. And then low group of buildings following the banquet hall was the harem or the harem. In other words, the ladies' quarters. Approximately a mile, but by the 2 mouths, north and south, it will get as wide as traffic of cargo ships and tankers. But today I think they've already stopped them because of the sailing race to start soon. Between the 2 sides of Istanbul, and cruising length is approximately 10 minutes, but cruising for them has already stopped, otherwise it will be very, very busy in this area. It's not only the sailing race, but we have a bicycle race. I think when the Sultan moved with his family to the Dolmabahce Palace, all of the royal people wanted to be nearby him, so they started building palaces along the European coast, converted from a prison to a hotel. And another school building on your left, a quiet high school, which is used as a palace in the past. The most famous of these palaces is the one on our left soon, which is called Kempinski. It has a Turkish flag and a poster of our first president, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, hanging outside the building. It is a heliport, so all the celebrities coming to Istanbul, they take their helicopter from the airport to see the traffic. And it is operated by the Kempinski Hotel, the corner side on your left in the Kempinski. And after the break, you're going to see a bunch of yellow buildings, one after the other, which are used as high schools or colleges by the state. Lots of stalls like handicrafts, little flea market stuff. So it's a popular village among the locals and the tourists. And it just was designed and built here. More and more people started moving to Asia because land was cheaper at that time. So it started losing its summer resort character. Before 73, 99% of the land on Asia was used by the summers among the local people. more of a lonely resort area still, although people live all year round there. If you're going to travel on the Asiatic side of the city, it will give you a feeling like you're visiting California, visiting probably Florida area. So we are now cruising the strait. At the time, royal people came and spent some private moments over here for the privacy, because the big palace was packed, almost 3,000 people live there. So museum palaces, richly furnished, and you can go and visit the rich furnished rooms of the palace. Nobody lives there. So this is how the journey of the mosques along the Bosphorus are. And immediately after the mosque, coming up on your right again, we do have a cream colored building with the two towers, which is used as a naval training school. And our first president, Atatürk, studied over here for a while during his educational life. A few celebrities, a few politicians who got involved in corruptions. Those are basically the owners of these yachts, of these mansions, starting on your right from now on. lots of fishermen. They are basically hobby fishermen. They are catching from the shore small fish. See my fingers about this size? It's like horse mackerel smelt. It's a very delicious fish. We coat it with flour and deep fry it, and people eat the whole thing. The head, the tail, the bones. It's so crispy. Taste according to your personal interest. If you are tired, you may sit at the tables by the gift shop or outside in the garden. The buses will let us off in front of the museum, and they will stay there. We are so lucky with the weather. This is almost beginning of November, and the weather, the temperature is like mid-September. Still sunshine. It could be rainy and cold and very miserable. Yok. Hayır, kadın çok öksürüyordu da arkamda. Yok, şimdi geçti öksürüğü. Tamam. Sadberk Hanım. The first wing is archaeology. The second part after the entrance is the ethnographical section. The original turn, the U-turn, is a couple of miles north. So we will be creating our own U-turn, like my colleague's bus is doing in front of us. Thank you. But those zebra crossings are like street decorations to the drivers. They don't stop. So we cannot risk you to get across the street. With pillows, and then they would dress up the bed with beautiful jewels like broche, diamond broche, and then the boy was in bed for a whole week and no anesthesia in those times. But the tradition is changing. Very many families, like me personally, my son was drowned. They couldn't return back to their village. So when such a thing happened, the family and started putting candles, hoping that at least the soul of that village man, Horos, that's how you pronounce it, and it means cow's passage, passage of the cow. Rather a strange name for a channel like this, but that's all given after a legend in mythology. You know Zeus, chief god of the pagan times. He is the controller of all the gods and the goddesses. He is married to a goddess called Hera. To happen to the cow, who is actually the girl, throws her from the mountaintop where they are meeting, and she falls down to the spot where we have the Bosphorus today. Hera is coming after the cow, and Zeus, watching all this, sees that she's at the point of catching the cow, creates a deep water passage. And that was the Bosphorus, which separated the cow and the wife from one another. Have a bigger boat that they keep in the southern marinas. You're going to Izmir, am I correct? Yes. So that's the west coast of Turkey, starting from Izmir all the way reaching to the end of the Mediterranean coast where Syria, Lebanon is. That's all the shores of Turkey, and the waters over there are crystal clear. So that's one fact. The second fact is their season for sailing and swimming is much longer because that's pretty much south of Turkey. So they keep their bigger sailing boats on those areas in the southern marinas, and they can start swimming and sailing by mid-April, and it goes till like mid-November, where contrary the season over here is short. It's like June, and then usually end of September you stop swimming. October at the end, it's basically no more sailing. The waters can get very windy, so the season is longer over there. Asiatic side has more yalus compared to the European side, so it's better to drive along the European side, where it's more scenic, more luxury for SUVs, for bigger cars and so on. You pay like 30%.
How about the taxation on like your paycheck?
It's the same amount, so it's higher according to your income.
Right.
Maximum it's like 40%, but nobody pays that amount, believe me. That's another reason they cannot collect money from the rich. They deduct from the income of the poor people, because they are working with fixed salary. So if you're working with fixed salary, you have to pay immediately fixed tax. But if you're a businessman, you can pay much less of a tax than your income. SUVs, Chevys, Jaguars, Mercedes. Friends. This is the trap area. So there are certain venues, all the youngsters, especially young girls, looking after the rich, and the man looking after the most beautiful. I think it's international all over the world.
Yeah.
The 1800s by the governor of Egypt, and later on it was given to the country Egypt and used as their consulate building. So it's the land of
government present, the Islamic government discriminate against homosexuality?
Yes, exactly. They're against all kind of homosexuals, lesbians, transsexuals. They're phobic about them.
But the only, I wanted a booklet on Istanbul, that was the only thing. You know?
I don't think
Yeah, so they wouldn't have that. I doubt if the duty free will have it.
There is a bookstore in the Galata port. You may ask the information where the cat was lying.
Interesting.
If you look across to the Asiatic side, there's a modern tower. That's the new telecommunication tower of Istanbul. It's like 2 years old. And another mosque up on the hilltop, which was built by the order of our president Erdogan some years ago, and it's exactly a copy of the Blue Mosque. So Blue Mosque was unique with its 6 minarets until the construction of this one. So it is a copy of the Blue Mosque, unfortunately. The front and synagogue gate I will show you coming round the corner. All these are still active. So not only now, but for in the centuries of past, everybody were tolerant to other faiths, other practices. Nobody was pressurized to be converted. So here is the synagogue on your left. You see the Hebrew letters. And you can see on your left the little narrow streets of that village or Taköy. This is a very popular area with its fast food eateries. There are lots of bars and nightclubs in the area. So when you finish at 4 a.m., you're starving. So you stop for a sandwich or for fried mussels or hamburgers or things like that. But a very popular thing they try is tripe soup because it kills your hangover the next day. And I love this number, 63 toilets, when you think Versailles had none, for example. So it's a very hygienic palace. We do have popular city teams, and European football, soccer is like the national disease of the Turkish men. They love watching soccer. We're almost there. As you can see, the cruise ships in front of us.
It's nautical on 3:30, madam. Good afternoon, how are you?
Can I get a roast beef one, please?
Anything else? Sweet maybe for you?
What's this round thing? The
This one is the chocolate tartlet.
chocolate? Thank you.
try my best. And lobster. Now become baby. You know the lobster in the club.
Came out for
Wow, this one.
yes.
A bigger one. Wow. This bone. Okay. So, soldier.
You have to fight.
Yes. Tonight, you have to fight. Yeah.
Okay.
Madam,
Thank you.
this one you can have the
Yes.
cracker there.
Bang buas makanan din. Nasa lambot na makanan bang buas. Hindi rin kaya din. Ang terus kalau dito bang buas. Siapa cuma amin rumah. Beautiful ya.
Yes.